it's already February. The first month of the year simply flew past. I spent it trying to adjust my routine to my freshly renewed yearly goals and also making the most out of the few days that I had left to my winter break, catching up with friends, and enjoying downtime. For the most part, I feel like my approach was just to take things day by day. And then the winter semester started and I felt like I had to adjust to my routine all over again. It took a little bit longer than usual for me to get settled, but eventually I finally felt like I'd gotten into a pretty good rhythm when it comes to lectures, library sessions, and meanwhile also trying to find small pockets of time during my day for myself. Although I won't sugarcoat things, this winter semester has been very busy for me right off the start. With winter in full force, the days are shorter, but somehow they felt like they were constantly dragging on with new tasks piling onto my to-do list. Mentally, I was pretty much thinking about school day and night and trying to, but struggling to make time for creating or even for myself. But I feel like ultimately I kind of failed to set boundaries between uni and my personal life. I just got very invested and took on a really big mental load. Now I finally feel like I have some time to breathe and slow down a bit. So I hope that you enjoy as I bring you along with me to recharge and work towards getting inspired again. And most importantly, just return to taking things one day at a time. And welcome back. I thought I would just sit down and do my skincare and just give a few updates because I haven't actually sat down and filmed a vlog over like a few consecutive days in weeks. Life has just been so busy that all I've managed to do has been to catch little snippets here and there, but now I finally have some time, I feel, to slow down and actually catch up with you guys, which is very nice. I'm just gonna do my skincare at the same time because my skin is very dry, so I need to hydrate it right as I come out of the shower. So this is like my winter hydrating skincare routine. It's now halfway into February, which is crazy to think about. I feel like the first month and a half of the year has completely flown by. These past 2 weeks, I've basically just had to throw routine out of the window and kind of go into survival mode because, as you may know, I'm studying filmmaking and this semester we're working on our short films. So for the past 2 weekends in a row, I've just been working on set from like as early as 7 in the morning to as late as 12 at night. So it's been very long and intense days with lots to do, but at the same time, I feel like I'm learning so much just from that experience. I think my goal for the next couple of days and the rest of this vlog is going to be, on the one hand, to just rest, recharge, and reset. As you saw this morning, I took an everything shower, which is always just like the perfect way to reset. I feel renewed once I come out of the shower. But at the same time, I also want to focus on getting inspired again, and by that I don't mean just creatively, because I do think obviously inspiration has a lot to do with creativity, but for me, I also see it as just like being excited about life and just having things you look forward to and whatnot. And I feel like these past 2 weeks, that just hasn't been the case. I've just been kind of going through the motions, not really focusing on anything other than my to-do list, but I'm excited to incorporate more things that inspire me into my day-to-day life. I normally have class on Thursday afternoons, but all classes got moved to remote because of a snowstorm. The university just decided to move everything to online, so I'm definitely feeling very grateful for that because it means that I got to sleep in more. And now I think my teacher's just gonna post a lecture, so I'm gonna watch that later and watch the movie that we have to watch for this week. I have to let my hair dry and then I'm gonna blow dry it a little bit later, but I think right now I'm gonna make some breakfast. I kind of want to make blueberry pancakes. I think that might be fun, so I'm gonna do that and then finish getting ready and get started with my day. finished getting ready and I've kind of just been taking my time this morning getting settled into the day, but now I'm finally sitting down to catch up on some work. And before I get started with some editing, which is really the main thing I need to be working on right now, I wanted to take a quick moment to thank today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. I'm very happy to be working with Skillshare on another video and to introduce to you guys the course that I've been taking lately, which is Productivity for Creators, Systems, Organization, and Workflow. I truly feel like the timing of me starting this course right now could not be more perfect. It just offers a bunch of practical solutions and insights on how you can have a creative side hustle, and in my case, maintain it. Skillshare is the largest online community where you can go to learn any type of creative skill, from illustration to filmmaking, entrepreneurship, freelance, productivity, and much more. Their approach also encourages members to learn by doing, allowing you to submit a class project and also get feedback once you've completed the course. Skillshare has also been kind enough to provide a 1-month free trial to the first 500 people that sign up using the link in my description. So if you've been meaning to develop and build upon any creative skills this year, then I really recommend that you go check out all the classes that they have to offer, once again using the link in my description. Huge thank you again to Skillshare for partnering with me, and now let's continue with today's video. Today has been a very slow day so far. I've just been kind of taking my time, honestly not really doing anything that productive, but I've also been kind of using this time to recharge, which I think I desperately needed. This morning I actually went on a walk, which was nice. I haven't been on a walk in quite a while. I feel like that's because most days I'm just running around from class to class, so on days when I am home I don't really think of leaving the house much, but it was actually a really nice way to take a break and just like have that me time, so really enjoyed that. Highly recommend going on a walk if you feel like you're feeling stuck and you just need a little bit of a break. I feel like my brain is just really tired, and that's probably because I'm feeling a little bit burnt out, so I feel like mentally I need some rest and I can't just like jump straight into work. So I thought it would be a good time and good opportunity to do a little bit of journaling. I wrote out some journal prompts to just kind of reflect on where I'm at right now, and since the theme of this video has kind of been revolving around feeling inspired and also trying to recharge, I thought I would center my prompts around that. So I feel like a good way to start any journal prompts is just by writing your ins and your outs, which have been kind of trending lately, but in case you don't know what that consists of, it's essentially just writing about what you want more of versus what you want less of, or like what you want to start implementing and adding into your day-to-day life versus what you want to let go of or eliminate. And then moving on to more like detailed or in-depth questions that I felt like kind of aligned or resonated with where I'm at right now. Starting with what contributed to me feeling burnt out. I kind of know the answer to this. I think it's a mix of not sleeping enough, just feeling like I have a lot of work to do, but then also on top of that, putting a lot on my shoulders and putting a lot of pressure on myself. I'm not saying I'm like at 100 on the burnout scale, but I'm somewhere in between, and that is also okay to acknowledge that. I think right now what's most important for me is just working on taking care of myself, recharging, which is why my next question is, what are some things I can do to feel recharged? At the top of this list, I would obviously put like rest and just sleeping and making sure I'm getting at least 8 hours of sleep every night, but then also with that, like prioritizing my morning and night routine and trying to get back into that consistent routine where I'm like waking up at a certain time every morning, because while I do think sometimes you just need to let yourself sleep in, I feel like sometimes also oversleeping and not really having much of a structure there can actually be kind of detrimental. Going outside and like just spending time outdoors or in nature is also something that I feel like always makes me feel more recharged, so I'm really trying to schedule more outings like that. Next week I really want to go skiing, so my sister and I are kind of scheduling that so that we can have that activity together, and I feel like it's something I'm going to really look forward to, and it's just something that's going to make me feel much more recharged and at peace overall. My next prompt is, when do I feel most creative slash inspired? And then going off of that, what can I do to feel more inspired? I know this one is like kind of tricky to answer because sometimes it feels like inspiration just kind of comes and goes, but I do feel like there are certain things I do in my day-to-day life that just get me more excited or like more energized and creative in a way. Listening to music is one of them, and then consuming art, whether it be literature, going to a museum, watching films, all of those things I feel are a great way to get inspired. So yeah, those are just like a few things I feel like that can help with sparking inspiration or creativity, but then also just like in your day-to-day, maintaining a solid routine and coming back to that, I feel like it just gives me like an anchor to hold on to. I know I always like stress the importance of a routine, but it truly is essential to me. Last but not least, my final prompt is very simple and straightforward. It's just, what are some positive moments from this past week? But I feel like sometimes you just need to celebrate the wins, and sometimes it can be hard to look for the positives when you feel like you've had a really long, exhausting week. But this does force you to like dig a little bit deeper and look for those small moments, because there's so many small moments that I feel like I tend to take for granted when I'm like overwhelmed or feeling busy, but then they really do make a difference. So acknowledging those and writing them down onto paper can remind you to celebrate those small wins. Those are the journal prompts I wanted to share with you. I hope that you enjoyed that. I know I've been talking for a while, but hopefully that wasn't too boring. For my part, I think I'm gonna go back to just trying to get work done. I have some readings I have to do for school, so I'm gonna start there because I feel like that's the most I can manage right now. But yeah, we're gonna take it slow. It's okay. I'll be back when something more interesting happens. Everyone, I've been watching a film for class, and also I forgot I have these eye patches on. Let me take them off. I've just been watching that, and then at the same time I've been scrolling on Pinterest and making a very small vision board just to update my Notion headers, because I've had the same header on my Notion page ever since starting classes back in September, but I figured I would change it since it's kind of more like fall themed and I wanted something more fit for the winter, and just, I don't know, I wanted to refresh it. So this is what it looks like now. It's very simple, but that is what I wanted, and I really like the quote that says, "Create your own happiness." And I feel like this is also perfectly in line with wanting to feel more inspired, because when I was listing and journaling about the things that get me inspired, one of them was vision boards, because I feel like it is just a really great exercise to get yourself thinking about what you want and what you want your life to look like, more importantly. So anyways, that is where I'm gonna end today's video. I feel like for the rest of today I'm probably just gonna be working at my computer doing some editing and schoolwork, so it's not gonna be that interesting to watch. But thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really feel like over these past couple of days I got the chance to recharge, and I just feel rejuvenated, which is great. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night wherever you are, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye!